Drummond?
No, we have no news yet.
Guess no news on starters for Spurs, right?
No.
For Trey Lyles. Okay.
I mean, he's so much less interesting to me now than before. Even.
Why?
Just because there's other guys. Like, why do I, especially on DraftKings, which is what we should mostly be talking about because we don't really have FanDuel for a while. We'll have no more information.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I honestly don't think I have one lineup with Trey Lyles in it on DraftKings.
Okay.
You could play Sumner instead. You could play Holiday instead.
I right now have 0 Lyles on DraftKings.
Yeah, I don't think that I just don't. I mean, I get it. I just think that I'll go a different route with my things. I do think. I mean, now we know Iguodala is going to be the low owned of the bunch. I actually think that if you're going to play that, like if you're going to play Embiid and stack that game, that Iguodala is now more in play, or not now more in play, but he's a better tournament play because he's not going to have the ownership not starting. It's actually better for him that he's not starting. The projections have come down a little bit because the minutes they don't expect to be a gazillion anymore. But I know it kind of sucks to have him, but if he's going to be playing, a lot of minutes in in a tight game, I just think there's enough opportunity for him as a part of a game stack, but I probably won't be looking to him much outside of those game stacks.
Okay. Yeah, I have a decent amount of him right now. So I'll have to rerun this as we get a little bit closer.
Wait, which one is that?
Iguodala?
Oh, you do have a decent amount of him. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So what I wanted to do
a really easy pivot just to Sumner instead.
Yeah, why Sumner?
Because Sumner always does this every time the situation happens. He's gone off like so many times in the past. His minutes are trending up anyway.
Really?
He's going to play. I mean, yeah. What do you want me to say? He went from not playing at all to playing, 6 and then 12 minutes. I'd imagine tonight he gets 20 plus. He's a much more active, aggressive player than Aaron Holiday. He won't have the ownership. There's a lot of reasons to like him as a pivot away from Iguodala.
Well, I literally never even thought of him. I gotta look into that then.
Yeah, so it's just worth it to note, what's up, guys? What's up, K9 Bronco? What's up, Alex? What's up, Eric? Yeah, so
how many minutes do you have him playing?
22.
Is Oladipo out?
We're assuming he's out right now. He said he did. Okay. I mean, that's the assumption that the projections that I'm working with are working.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough then. Okay.
So, and also, I don't know what happened at the beginning of this year with him exactly, but in general, in the past, even when there was just TJ Warren out, but usually I guess it was TJ Warren and Oladipo because he was out the whole time. But Sumner had been out. So typical. I get called every time during these shows go on asking me about advice. All right. All right. So I'm just trying to take a quick look back through a few things.
So let me just go back and just I want to go through these guys again. So here's a couple of kind of like revelations I had. I was walking back. So walk me through this. So it feels as though one of the really popular builds, which obviously makes sense, is to play like a bunch of Miamis or Philly or whatever, and then have like Jokic and Durant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two of them kind of run back. Mm-hmm. I feel as though that's going to be a little bit too obvious and popular. Mm-hmm. What if we did something that I think you might like? That instead of doing Jokic with Durant, do like Jokic with LeVert, or then Murray with Durant.
Jokic with LeVert, Murray with Durant. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I
mean, you like Murray still a little bit, right?
Yeah, and that I definitely like Murray a little bit still for sure. It's a wild card play. He and Will Barton are both in that category, but Murray's more realistically to actually like try and take over. And also with him being like the same price basically as Harrow, it's going to be hard for him to have too much ownership. I also really like Maxey tonight. I know he's going to have some ownership, but I just want to throw that out there.
I like Maxey a lot tonight.
Yeah, I think that people are going to play Sabonis over Durant, like astronomically.
Okay.
That's the impression that I'm getting so far. So if that's the case, just play Durant and don't worry about, he's still going to be 20 some odd % owned probably, but he's not going to be like 45 or 50. And I'm still having a hard time totally buying into that, but I do get it. Or you can try to play them together, which is really tough to do because of the position eligibility of all these other guys. We want the centers and all that. What I'm struggling with a little bit is whether or not I want to take a shot on one of these other Philly pieces. I'm sorry, on these other Heat pieces. All of them, Silva, Struss, and Vincent. I think Vincent might get a little bit of ownership because he's starting. But like the problem is none of these guys do anything. Same thing with, literally nobody. If Tyler Hero plays, and he's going to have to miss a million shots for him not to do anything. One of he or Olynyk has to almost go off in this game, like almost regardless. It feels like.
You think so, right?
It's like really feels like hard to imagine how it doesn't happen. How much do they go off? Sure, that's a question. But like, who's going to create here? So you've got two. Those are the two guys that you have. You can sort of run a little bit of offense through. And I include Olynyk in that, by the way, too. Which I just said, but yeah, it does make also the ability, potentially, not that they would run things through Iguodala, that's just not how they do things. He's just such a low usage guy. It doesn't feel great, but there's so many guys out. So the bench guys, and Vincent, Silva, Struss, and Vincent are the ones I'm having the hardest time with. I think that I probably will end up leaving most of it alone, but I will have like probably a piece of each of them in different lineups. Where do you stand with your man Struss now?
Well, what do you mean? Where do I stand with him?
Any interest?
Yeah, maybe a little.
Mm-hmm.
I think I prefer Vincent for now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I need any of them though. I don't know if I need to play that many like pure 3Ks. Or do I? Maybe I do.
No, I don't think you necessarily need to do. I've got, with that lineup, I've got Jokic, Durant, and Curry.
Right.
So you don't need to. You definitely don't need to do it. I don't mind the Holiday play tonight. By the way, I think it's a little bit different than other situations, but I do think Sumner is a really interesting pivot or whatever. Probably hard for both of them to get there. Another thing is everybody on Indiana played like 38 minutes last night except for these guys.
Okay.
So they can both get there. It is possible.
You play any Harden?
I ended up with like a couple of smaller, large field tournament stuff. Yeah, because he was able to do it. Guys, I'm just going to answer a few questions in there. Do I like Jared Allen at all tonight? No. On FanDuel, you can take a shot on anybody because the center position sucks. But I don't like Jared. There's nothing about this matchup that makes you like Jared Allen.
Can you do me a favor? Who is starting for the Heat?
Vincent, Hero, Robinson, Precious, and Olynyk.
Okay, so Silva's coming off the bench.
Oh yeah, Silva's was yeah. I don't even think we have confirmation on that starting lineup yet. Let me just double check. Yeah, we don't have confirmation on anything yet. But
I thought that okay.
Maybe they did. I saw that. I overheard someone else talking about it as if it was already locked in, but I don't think that it is. Yeah, Silva's definitely. I can't imagine a world in which Silva starts, but maybe it doesn't matter. So you're going to have somebody match up with Embiid, and you have Precious to do that, which again could be easily foul trouble. Chris Silva is a guy who can put up fantasy points. We just don't get to see it during the regular season because there's never room for him. But he can do it. So I'm interested a little bit there. In fact, maybe that's the answer to my little question that I was trying to figure out there. That's it. I think that is my answer. Because if I'm going to play a lineup that fades both Olynyk, well, I'm not going to fade Precious. But if I fade Olynyk, maybe that is the way I go. Yeah, that makes a little bit of sense.
I'm not if I'm going to be honest, I'm not convinced that we should be ignoring Lyles.
Sure, go ahead and play him.
doesn't sound very encouraging.
Well, you know my feeling on this one. I don't have a whole lot more to add. He played 30 minutes in the last game. There's no reason why he should play nearly that many today.
Okay.
And he did absolutely nothing. Now, it doesn't mean that he can't have a game at some point. He can get going. Sure. He's got some talent, but I sort of like, I don't know. The Spurs have bodies. We need him to play 1 million minutes, even though he won't. And I want to know that he's starting. I want to know that that's their plan.
I would also like to know if John Wall is starting. What do you think about that?
I would like to know that as well. And by the way, I actually ended up with a couple of things with Wall in it, just as a pivot off of some of the other guys who I liked, who had a lot of exposure to, but just in smaller buy-ins. So
because when you mentioned like Iguodala is going to be low because he's not starting, I was wondering how you knew that he wasn't starting.
That's what they projected for it. And honestly, it didn't make sense to me that they would have him start anyway. He never really starts. So, I mean, even when he was really good, he didn't start. He won the MVP of the NBA Finals and he didn't start.
Right.
It's just his role. He was an all-star. He didn't start 1 year. So let's see real quick. I'm just gonna take a look just to see if we have anything else from this. Okay, so yeah, I mean, like I see no reason to play with size against OKC here. So even if Lyles starts, I sort of like I'd rather spend a little more and take the shots on Rudy Gay or gulp Devin Vassell. And by the way, if Vassell is starting, doesn't mean we just like lock him in, but he does become another one of those plays. And I just think like Lyles actually, with the ownership dropping, I'm kind of a little bit more interested, but I don't know, man. I'm having a little bit of a hard time with it, to be honest with you. It's just these other guys. Who am I playing him over? Precious? No. Olynyk is already going to be in one of my spots in most of my lineups. Like, why isn't Okoro a better play to you than Lyles?
I have Okoro in like my big buy-in on FanDuel right now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, he almost ended up in mine too. And it's a real big buy-in. So Okoro, yeah, that's interesting actually. I actually kind of like that. Okoro. Maybe that is what you do. You play Okoro. We just forget that it's even a thing with yeah. So I'm gonna play something. Okay, I'm gonna answer some questions, guys, in just a minute. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what I want to do here. Precious versus so Lyles versus Precious, Iguodala. You can give him the edge over Iguodala if you want. I don't think he has that big of an edge, if any. Okoro, I would give the edge over Lyles. Especially if Drummond ends up out. That just means there's just going to have to be people. There's going to be more rebounds out there. That's one thing. There's going to be you're going to have to do something. Somebody has to.
Let me see if there's any news that I missed. John Wall is most likely going to play, per Steven Silas.
Yeah. Guys, any questions about the things or whatever? Please just hit me up directly on Twitter instead of DMing me, because it's really hard to answer DMs like that much, and it's a little distracting. So if you could do it that way, I'd really appreciate it.
What I'd like you to do, I want you to be really mean, okay? I want you to talk me off of this lineup a little bit. I want you to tell me where this is weak and what you would change. Now this is pretty overstacked, right? If it's my FanDuel big lineup, I have like 6 different entries right now, so I had to diversify a little bit. So this one, I'll talk it out. It's got Curry and Brogdon, and also Wiggins from that game, and Sabonis. So it's 2x2 in the 10th and the hammer. It's got LeVert, then it's got both Okoro and Osman together, and then hold my nose Horford at center.
I have Horford at center in my big one too. I don't understand. I don't see this as a slate where I find any interest in playing Wiggins.
Okay.
It's a terrible matchup. He's gonna be owned over there, by the way. He's gonna be popular. He's gonna be popular. It's a terrible matchup, and he's had one game this year. And obviously Draymond and other guys were out of that game. Literally one game that I would want him to have. So I feel like he's just getting priced in. People are building with a similar core to you over there, I would say.
Okay.
I think you're going a little chalk there.
Really? Okay. Because it didn't feel that way when I was doing it. All right.
Well, think about it. Think about each guy. What Sabonis,
I guess so.
50%, 45%, 50%.
Well, I'm ranking right now. I have actually right now the highest owned point guard is actually is DeJounte Murray.
Do you have?
Yeah, but it's close between him, Brogdon, and Curry.
Yeah, I like DeJounte. He's the one I'm using the most.
Yeah, so let me. Yeah, that's a good idea. So let me start filtering out of this. That's what I like to do. I MME like before this stuff, and then then what I do is I kind of talk through my big stuff, and then when like all the news changes, then I scramble to fix everything. So who else? So who are your favorite? Like I was just saying, given the news now, I mean whatever, but on shooting guard on FanDuel.
I like Shea.
Yeah, I just pulled that up actually.
Like the matchup. I like everything about it. He's taken control. His usage is through the roof. So Shea.
I'll tell you who I probably am going to want if I can afford it. If I'm going to have these two Clevelands, maybe I should try to find Mitchell. No.
Sure, but maybe the better play is play Clarkson with those guys.
I thought of that.
So I do like Clarkson a little bit. I like.
What about Dotson? Does he stink or? No,
Dotson's an okay play today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially, the problem with Drummond being out is it's going to put you in a weird spot because the game, that's a tough game for them to hang in. But we've seen it happen before. Cleveland doesn't strike me as the kind of team that's going to be able to do much unless they get really hot early or something without Drummond and without their whole team is basically missing. They're literally missing 4 out of their 5. They're by far their 4 best players. If Drummond's out. So, but as of right now, it's funny because these late game things does mean the guy's going to be out, but are they really just going to forfeit a game at home, which is basically what this kind of feels like? Because you're going to run out Dotson, Osman, Okoro, and what to get you anything. I honestly it's hard for me to see how that plays. Like Larry Nance and JaVale obviously would become a strong play if Drummond's out. The only thing I would say is that if JaVale gets to be like, if we get that news soon, let's just keep an eye out for it. I do have JaVale.
Well, here's the thing. I will tell you about. I'm not. I don't really want to do the McGee if Drummond is out. If it's going to end up being a chalky play.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been playing anyway. I think McGee been playing with AD on the court sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
What did that really give him? He can't play more than 24, 25 minutes anyway, right?
Right. I don't remember ever seeing him play that many. He might have hit that number this year, though. I can check in a second. Right now I'm in the middle of doing something else real quick. I'm going to answer some questions, too, in a minute. Let's see. We got this. Where is that lineup? Yeah, we'll go through positions at FanDuel in just a little bit. We're still in the middle of it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm just, you know what I can do? I can do this.
All right, so to answer some questions, the thing is that the more you look at it, it's I almost wish you're going to get low owned. You're not going to get low owned Al Horford. He's going to actually have some ownership tonight.
You think so?
Yeah. It's too obvious. I don't know. Center is just complete garbage. But you could play Jared Allen. You could play. He makes a lot more sense over on FanDuel than he does on DraftKings. But yeah, it's. I don't know, man. I'd love to get back to some DraftKings. Then we can go back to FanDuel. I think because it's a little tricky. All right, so I'll tell some core guys for me for DraftKings in a minute, guys. But let me just answer these questions first.
Yeah, get some questions out there.
All right, so. Happy belated to you, Sheets. That's one of them. Thanks for all the streams. You guys are great. Thanks a lot, Brian. Appreciate the positive words. Is it a waste to pay for Joker on FanDuel? Absolutely not. That's the other option, and I think that's what people are going to come on. And I'm going to guess that he's going to end up being the most popular center over there, right? Like especially once Drummond's out. If Drummond's out, let me see real quick. Gobert and him would be about the same, I would guess, ownership-wise. I'm guessing you could probably have something similar. And I think people will play Jared Allen, too. So that's fine. You can play Jared Allen. This is not a particularly good matchup for Jared Allen. This is particularly a terrible matchup for Jared Allen. But we've seen him just go off at different times. And I'll just take the savings with Horford personally. That's just where I'm at. I mean, even Gasol's going to get some love. That's how bad the position is. The guy who might not get much love, and it's probably a mistake, he's a huge price difference between DraftKings and, well, $1,200 price difference. Miles Turner, and he's always a better play on FanDuel because that's why his price is more. I mean, just listen to these games. He hasn't had a game this year without a block shot. What is he averaging? Like almost over 3 now? He averages also almost 2 steals, like 1.6 steals. Like every game, you look 5 stocks last game, 4 the game before that, 10 the game before that, 4 the one game with 1, then 5, 8, 7. It's just that's a huge floor on FanDuel. But I mean, it's hard to count on those things, but not for the guy who's the best in the league at it. So maybe that's the clever thing to do on FanDuel. In fact, I'm going to actually get some of that over there once I've done answer some questions. All right, let's see. If any interesting Cleveland guys if Drummond's out. Yeah, I sort of went through them. Hopefully that question was after I did. If you have any specifics, let me know. Interested in Isaiah Joe again? Nope. Not with Ben Simmons playing. Do I like DeJounte? Yes, I do. Any interest in Draymond tonight? Yes. But the problem is, where do you get him in? Especially on DraftKings, it's tricky because the power forward center is where we want to use that spot, and we also have some good guard value. So it's a little – if we small forwards it would be great if he was still small forward eligible. I'll put it that way. It also, again, not a good matchup. This is a good matchup for Indy, not a great matchup for Golden State. But I still am okay with some of the guys, especially Curry, because it doesn't really matter in general on him. While on track to play, yes, he is. Glad you're here. Nice to see you, Steven. Glad you're in the chat with us. Says while on track to play. I didn't see. Tuning in late. How do you rank the Philly guys? Okay, so the Philly guys. I think the best play on Philly is I don't care about the back-to-back. He played literally 22 minutes last night. So I will take Joel Embiid as the best play for the Philly guys, followed by Maxey, followed by Simmons.
I actually think that I agree with you with respect to Embiid. I think Simmons coming off of the rest is probably a good play.
I agree. I'm not getting there personally, but I do agree. One thing, let me just see something real quick over here.
Hey, if you guys want to have some fun, by the way, I don't know if it's still available, whatever, but they're running a showdown slate with that Sixer game, which could be really interesting.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
They're running a showdown slate with that Sixer Miami game on DraftKings.
Oh, that's actually funny. Yeah.
That could be a fun one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's actually a good one to go do. I got to edit my big lineup over here because there's a couple things I just don't like having Curry in both of them.
So I have the news up here on over here. It's still nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. Let's see. Any Royce O'Neal takes? What is his price right now? He didn't make anything.
He was priced up a few games ago. I remember that.
He's been good though. Like, I mean, for his price, even I just haven't. He didn't come across. I didn't even come across anything with him today. That's really weird. Like, it's weird on a small slate to have a guy you just don't think of, but he was that guy for me. Yeah, I don't think so at this price. I mean, he did have. There's always upside for him. This is again terrible matchup. You have a team that slows it down. No, if you're going to play Royce O'Neal tonight, you can play him. Just play him every night. Then you know what I mean. There's nothing special that stands out about him tonight. First in block, fifth in steals. Let's see. QQ favorite Miami plays on DK. Okay, so I'll rank my favorite Miami plays. I don't know how to fade Precious, so I'm not going to. I think Hero is actually the best other play. Hero and Olynyk. Maybe you can play one or both together, especially if you're stacking them up. But I like both of those guys. So that sort of stood out to me at first. I like Miles Turner on DraftKings and FanDuel today.
Wow, that's really low owned especially on DraftKings.
I don't think he will be on DraftKings.
Yeah?
I think he will be on FanDuel. I think on DraftKings you'll see double-digit ownership. He actually has the biggest boost per minutes with specifically Oladipo and Warren off the floor.
Well, that's a late night game where we're not going to get the Oladipo news. Well, I'm presuming he's out, Oladipo. Right?
Okay. Yeah, as of right now I am, but I'm not going to sit here and say for sure he's out or anything because it just scares me. It scares me. I've had too many bad experiences of being, sure that a guy was going to be out and he plays. Another one. So I really like Levert, by the way, on both sites.
Love Levert. I mean,
and maybe let's just see. Oh, we got some news.
we talked about that in the early thing. I mean, what's
Jerry Harris is out now too. Not that he's high usage, but that should open up some things on Denver.
Well, I was wondering why. I was getting some crunches with PJ Dozier and Monty Morris.
Yeah, I could see it for either of those guys, but I think again I think it's more of an upside. I think it gives Barton a little bit more upside too. But I agree that I like PJ Dozier a lot as a real life player, but I don't end up playing him that much because I feel like every time that he gets played, that's when he's always popular. The nights where I would be tempted to play him, and he never really crushes anything. But without these guys, I mean, he should get some run. I'm curious to see what their starting lineup ends up with. I'll let the projections run on that and get back to that question, guys. Sorry, it's a little bit tricky to answer right now.
And when you ask me again, like who the favorite like Heat are, for example, I really would. I mean, again, this is one of those things where I just kind of want to just let the starting lineups come out, be patient, let some projections update, and then just kind of see what it looks like.
It's hard to know hard to do that with the Heat a little bit though, huh? Like it's
very hard.
It's the first game.
But they have to announce their starters eventually. I mean, pretty soon, don't you think?
Yeah, but it could be like a late minute scramble, like a few minutes before.
Okay.
But I don't, I like Silva a lot. I think you can play. I mean, Silva and Ochoa, you can play a lot. I just think Silva's got upside, and I think that look, it would take Ochoa probably fouling out of the game for him to not be relevant. But I mean, it's possible. It's Embiid.
Who are you talking about?
Precious.
Oh, you said Ochoa. Oh, okay. That's all I know him as Precious.
Yeah. So KD, I don't want that.
Of course, you realize who breaks the slate tonight, right?
Who's that?
Danny Green.
No, I know. Yeah, well, he's a better player tonight anyway. We'll start Hero, Robinson, Precious, Olynyk, and Vincent.
Okay.
That's pretty much what we thought. Actually, exactly what we thought. God, I am finding myself in the same Wiggins mode, though. This is really annoying, Sheets. Right after I didn't like him, and now I keep finding myself with like this.
Well, so like you said, I mean, I guess that's why you said he was going to be popular. Is the people that know what they're doing end up getting forced into that decision, right?
Yeah, they get into that spot. Sumner. Okay, here we go. Now we're in business.
What?
I think I found what I needed to do. Oh. So I might go a little bit, it may be a little wacko or whatever, but I might just double stack in my two big lineups on DraftKings with that Philly. I think I'm just going to – I don't care if there's some ownership. I'll do one with Embiid. I'll do one with Ben Simmons, and then I'll play 4 Miami guys in each of them. I think I ranked Miami's guys for you. Duncan Robinson comes – oh, sorry. Wait, what did I say? I said – yeah, so you go – okay, one is Precious for me. 2 is Hero. 3 is Olynyk. 4 is Robinson. 5 is probably Silva.
What about Vincent?
6 is Iguodala. 7th is Vincent. And 8th is the other
guy. That's pretty ballsy. You rank Vincent 7th starting at 3K?
Over who am I ranking him over, though? Like, the guy who can play more minutes than him?
Yeah, I got you.
I'll see. I mean, I'm curious to see where the ownership actually does project out. So I'll take another look at that. I'm not saying I'm going to lock that in. I'm starting to feel this Edmund Sumner thing, though. And he sort of allowed me to do one other thing I wanted to because he's, got the position flexibility, too.
If they updated anything as far as what is this?
What do you got?
I'm looking. Oh, FanDuel. I was going to say I was looking at one of the places. I thought I was looking at DraftKings and I didn't see any projections for Philly. I thought they canceled the game. I was looking at FanDuel.
So Eric Pascal is out also.
Okay.
They're asking more Wiseman. Now, I think it maybe gives Wiseman a little bit more run. Yeah, I do. But I don't know how much they're going to give him still. But yes, Wiseman is probably a little better play than he was. I already thought he was an okay tournament speculative play. So
I have him a little bit on FanDuel.
Yeah. Real quick, just my current ownership, and let's see if I'm making a mistake. So I'll say these out loud on DraftKings. Here we go. 62%, but 100% in the big buy-ins. Hero. 70% Robinson, but 50% of the big buy-ins. Maxey, 35% Embiid, 57% Jokic, 65% Durant, 40% Sumner, 40% Silva.
Maxey, Precious.
I might have to get some of that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a few Silva 1v1 swaps for Vincent.
How much Iguodala do you have?
I just narrowed it down a ton because I just got him out for Okoro. So let me see 1 second. Iguodala, I have currently at 10%.
Oh shit! Yeah, I gotta.
I'm gonna get some more of them. I don't feel like so sure of myself.
I have a lot of them, but I don't have them anything big. How about that?
That's sort of the thing. So that's why I have less of him elsewhere, because I wanted to play him in the bigger one where I was stacked.
So we have the opposite. It's like really funny.
So now I'm trying to get him into some of the other ones. But I do think it's weird. Like maybe it is speculative. One thing is, like, I actually needed every dollar for one of my lineups, and that's the one I'm playing Sumner in. So that's sort of why one of my big buy-ins, I should say. But I'm going to replace the other ones and get more Iguodala. What are you laughing at?
It's just kind of fun. So this has nothing to do with the events. It's really going to be a waste. It's a funny story, but it's literally going to be a waste of 5 minutes. We'll do it tomorrow.
Okay. I mean, we're not in that mad of a rush, by the way, because.
Right. So I just got back into tennis a few weeks ago. I've been starved for exercise and whatever. So I've been doing for the last like couple of months. I've been walking to work every day, 2 miles each way.
Oh,
I lost like 15 pounds in the last month.
Oh my God, man!
Yeah, which is nice. And I got back into tennis. I used to be a big tennis player, but with all my injuries, I was in the garbage can. And I got back like a couple of weeks ago. Because tennis is good, like you be safe, you're away from the guy or whatever. So I was taking lessons. Started like I had 2 lessons, and the guy, the coach, whatever, he wears a mask when he coaches, whatever, and I didn't have to, whatever. And I did pretty well 2 weeks ago. I made it for 45 minutes, and my game was getting pretty good. And last week, I did much better, and I made an appointment for this week, and I just got a long text from him saying he has COVID.
Oh no!
COVID quarantine. And blah 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 blah. We are not lessons are not considered. I also never take my mask off. I'll be putting your private lessons on hold until January 20th.
Oh my God!
All right. Let me see if any of these things updated. It's pretty funny.
So just from a logic thing. Sorry, I just had a one. By the way, that's not a funny story. I don't think you should preface that as a funny story.
But it is kind of funny.
It's kind of.
You got to keep your sense of humor around. Well, it would be worse. I could talk to you about my wife. We were all freaking steamed. I don't know if you saw the what I tweeted earlier, but
No, I missed it.
There was this big thing over the last 10 years or whatever. There are these people in our area that feel like so entitled. What they would do is they would lie about having their kids having learning disabilities, so to get them more time on the SATs. So it's freaking ridiculous, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and this is what happens, right? So now it's worse, because now with the vaccine, there are all these different carve-outs for different exceptions. So you have all these people some of these people that we know are getting exceptions, getting put into the front of the line for vaccines for the most ridiculous reasons. Like this one person we know, she's a nutritionist, but only virtual. She never sees a single patient. But oh nope, got to go get the vaccine.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. I know my friends are using that loophole too.
It goes on. It just goes on and on, though. I mean, yeah. And then meanwhile, my wife's mom is 60 something and has issues and needs it. And what's happening is all the vaccine websites are getting crashed by everybody trying to make appointments now. It's
frustrating.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's obviously good that they have the vaccine, but I mean,
yeah, but
a little better cooperation with the public would be nice.
Yeah, seriously.
Let me see if anything's updated here.
So the thing I'm struggling with a little bit, I'll talk it out real quick.
Yeah,
I'm playing 2 big lineups on DraftKings, and I'm playing some other ones as well. But I really the idea behind playing Silva is sort of the reason why you don't want to play Ochoa. It's sort of the reason if Ochoa gets in foul trouble or something happens like that, or maybe Silva gets the late run if it's a blowout. So it feels weird to play them both together on a slate that has, pretty good value out there.
I agree with that.
I
agree with not necessarily. I wasn't going to play Ochoa with. I kind of agree with that.
No, but I am playing them together.
I know, but I mean, you can make the argument that you don't want.
Yeah, exactly. That's so I guess when I say I'm struggling with it, that's what I mean here. You know what I'm doing? I'm throwing a few Lyles in for Ochoas just because get a little bit of variation. Guys, ask any more questions in there. I'm happy to answer them. It's a pretty straightforward early slate for me. It's going to be a little trickier for the FanDuel one, but maybe we should go through some FanDuel plays, even though we've got some time before lunch.
Yeah, I'm updating my stuff, so I'm just going to just talk it out. You can just talk, and I sort of remember what I'm doing.
Yeah. Ingles being out, by the way, affects it. It definitely boosts Clarkson up,
yes.
who we already kind of liked.
Yes.
And it also boosts Mitchell. The thing is that game could be ugly, so I think Clarkson is the one I'd be aiming for.
You think they would leave him in?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, maybe if it got like 40 points, but I'm counting on him being part of the guy who helps them extend the lead. He's just going to take a bunch of shots, so I like him. Gary Harris out. That's old news, Kevin. Just kidding.
No. Anything that you hear, anybody, put it in there.
Put it in there if you think yes, but let us know. Like if it's something crazy that make sure that it's or no, just go ahead. We'll figure it out. All right, we got a question here. I thought, is Durant and LeVert together bad? To be honest, it's not ideal, but I do think that you can have some of it tonight. They're both at reasonable enough prices, especially on DraftKings, where they can easily both get there, I think. And if you're going to run it back on the other side with Jokic, certainly think you could do worse things than that.
Yeah, I like it. I think on a 5-game slate, you play them together, and you get to overtime, you win everything.
Yeah, but don't forget Joe Harris as the other guy you want to run alongside them. Like, I actually think Joe Harris is getting way, way slept on today. And it's not that I love him, but I'm definitely going to have some exposure.
I don't know if I can get to Joe Harris today. Yeah, you get on anything big?
Who, me?
Yeah.
On FanDuel and some of the medium ones.
Okay.
4,900 over there. Theoretically, it's like it shouldn't hurt him with Durant. I mean, that one night he really just took over when he was.
That was with no either of them, right?
Right, but it was he also made 8 threes. That's but he can make 8 threes in this game.
He sure can.
He's going to chuck them, and Durant literally. I've watched their games every time, and Durant literally is out there screaming at him to take more shots. He should take more shots. He's shooting like 52% from 3-point range. Takes 4 threes.
Right.
But I have them as a little combination, and I also have the other way with what's his name with LeVert. And Denver, let's see, without Gary Harris, Denver's defense is definitely worse without Gary Harris too, which is I'm looking for every reason because I kind of like them.
He still plays defense, Gary Harris?
Gary Harris, yeah. Oh yeah. Why do you think he still plays?
I don't know.
The only way he gets any run is because he plays defense still. He can't do anything offensively. So Curry, Sabonis. Yeah, that makes less. Okay, Sabonis, Green. That also makes sense. Silva. Yeah. So what am I hoping for in that flow? Silva plays somehow he only fouls out or Precious fouls out in like 28 minutes, but still gets there. And then you've got 20 minutes out of Silva. I don't think they're going to spend much time with Kelly Olynyk on Embiid. I just don't see that happening. It seems foolish too when you have 2 athletic bigs that can match up better with him a little bit.
Who are those athletic bigs?
Precious and Silva.
Okay.
I mean, look, they're going to be doubling him anyway. So
right.
You can look for the maxi shot. That's partly why the thing is they can double him. Like it's not going to. I don't know how much it's going to affect Ben Simmons because he's not going to be shooting.
You're going to get Danny Green another 10 wide open threes, by the way.
I mean, look, that's what I'm saying. This is the better matchup for Danny Green.
Well, he had 9 wide open threes yesterday and missed them all.
No, but I mean, some of them were, but
all.
Yeah. No, I know. He was terrible. I mean, he was also, I think he had like 6 turnovers too, or 5 turnovers or something. I don't know if that's right, but I remember him like when watching the game, it certainly felt right. Whether it was or wasn't, I don't know. All right. So Precious. Turner. Yeah, it would be nice to have confirmation on Oladipo and I would like something on Drummond. Tell you what, I would appreciate that.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Okay. So Barton, just trying to make sure I got my stacks the way I want them. Don't forget, if you're gonna play a bunch of Sabonis and Durant, try to get them together on DraftKings and FanDuel, just because people are gonna make that decision. Actually, on FanDuel they won't as much, but on DraftKings they will.
What's going on here?
Somebody told me that they got so burned by Hero in this spot before, and I said, okay, well let's get burned again because I just can't figure it out, man. How are they gonna? And the thing is, Philly has not once this season looked like a team that's just going to wipe the floor with somebody. And the one time they did a little bit was when Bradley Beal ended up scoring 60 points and they came all the way back.
Right.
Even though they've been winning games. Yeah. I have more Duncan Robinson than I probably should on DraftKings.
Now let's talk that through because this is going to happen a lot. You're going to have these guys that, like a guy like Duncan Robinson. I mean, we talked about this sort of, not that he's the same guy, but with respect to Danny Green. I mean, Duncan Robinson was playing minutes before, and he's playing minutes, and he's not going to play any more minutes, I don't think, now. And he's still going to get this. Maybe does he get that many more shots? I guess so. Huh?
I mean, he should get more shots, but again, I agree with your overall sentiment. What I would do is I would just say go ahead and switch and play Damian Dotson in some lineups.
Yeah.
It's a 5K versus 4,800. Damian Dotson, especially if we don't have, but even if we do have him. I mean, look, Damian Dotson so far, like lately without, what's it called? He put up 30 in the last game, put up 40 the game before that, 26 the game before that. There's no reason why he couldn't outscore the much higher owned Robinson tonight. I'm just finding myself interested in that game and stacking that game, so it's a little bit harder for me to fade Robinson in the stacks. Although I do have one of my stacks without Robinson. Maxi, Hero, Precious, Olynyk. Turner, and then I've got Durant, Jokic, Hero. So yeah, I like that. Man, I'm sort of interested in that the Ben Simmons thing a little bit. Let me just see real quick something. Ben Simmons is going to be completely unowned, and that's just if for no other reason than if you're going to play four guys from one side and you're not going to run it back with Embiid because you're using the center spot for one of those guys. It makes a lot of sense. It's not optimal, but I think it's a really clever tournament play. Real quick, Sheets, before we end up getting out of here, we've got a little bit of time, but maybe we should go through just the ownerships on FanDuel before we do anything.
Sure.
I do like Will Barton, Eric, as the question he asked. Do you feel comfortable stars and scrubs on FanDuel with Jokic and Durant, the pay-up options? I'm okay with it. There's enough value out there where I can get away. I can get away with it, but I don't think it's the ideal build. FanDuel, would I play Harden and Wood together and run it back with one Laker? I think that's, I mean, look, there's no logical reason to do that except for the ownership. The Lakers are going to be slow. They're arguably the best defensive team. They're slow. I mean, in terms of just what fantasy production allowed. So I don't see the reason to try and fit Wood and Harden in. But I think that if you're just going to run like a long shot tournament, I think you can always do it. But it's not like tonight. There's anything about this matchup that makes it a good matchup. It's not a good matchup.
What do you think of who are you just talking about?
Harden and Wood and running.
Wait, you playing any Aldridge?
If AD was out, I would consider that. By the way, I don't have that much of them, and I actually do. On FanDuel, I do a little bit. But I'm not playing. I'm mostly just playing a bunch of those, like the 10 of those $44, and then I'm playing the 1650 buy-in.
Okay.
So he's not in my 1650 buy-in. I can just say that, I guess.
They really want me to play Iguodala.
I really am loving the Jamal Murray thing personally. I want to get. I almost feel like I should just have more of that.
More of the Iguodala. More of the.
On Jamal Murray, because it's not like I have a 100% take on this, but I do think that it's like just there's so much upside for him, and I'm guessing let me see where he's going to be now. On FanDuel, I'm guessing he might have a little more ownership. A little over 10% probably, and on DraftKings, I'm going to guess it's going to be significantly lower. Just a little bit lower. Yeah, both Murrays tend to be in a lot of my point guard spots on my DraftKings. And I know you're big on the other one, and I like that too, by the way. I'm trying. It's just such heavy chalk on all of the indie guys, and I get it, but we don't have official word on Oladipo yet, which is going to put me in an issue with Sumner. But other things happen. I'm curious. Let's take a quick look back at the projections and see if we've got anything from the late night game, because we did. Losing Pascal should free up some time and some usage on the second unit. It makes Wiggins actually a better play too, because Pascal will take shots on the second unit. And
so I've got just talk about ownerships. So DraftKings, I got 100 on the Precious.
You got 100 on DraftKings.
I got 100. Yeah.
He's in both my big ones right now on DraftKings, and I really feel weird because Silva is also in one of my big ones.
I got 100. And on FanDuel, I don't have anybody close to 100.
Yeah.
Like my highest owned guy on FanDuel is 60% Curry.
Yeah, I hear you. Curry, the Curry Brogdon Sabonis, you're just gonna have such heavy ownership here. I do think Wiseman is a little bit of a better play now. I just think that he might see a little bit more run. They played two bigs. I think we should look at Wiseman a little bit more on FanDuel.
Yeah, I got him in one of my big ones, I think.
Good. Yeah, I think it's logical. And you guys be ready for news too. We might hear something that we're not ready for yet. Like, for example,
of course. I mean, first we still don't know AD, right?
Yeah, that was.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
We're just not sure.
The game's in 40 minutes, right?
The game's what?
In 40 minutes.
40 minutes, yeah. I am sort of interested in some of this Dotson v. Clarkson kind of stuff, and then I'm playing Osman. Osman on FanDuel is probably my highest owned player, actually.
Osman on FanDuel?
Yeah. I feel a little weird about it though, so I'm probably gonna spread a little bit of it out just because he's, if they do get smoked. The problem is, even when they got smoked last time, they were down by 35 in the fourth, and he played 39 minutes in that game. I have one for the Lakers.
Do you have any lineups with Drummond in them?
No,
I got one little one on DraftKings.
Yeah, and then you just adjust if the news happens. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. If I was playing not more in terms of money, but more in terms of spread out, I would definitely have had some of him on DraftKings.
Let's take a look at some of the. Wait, let me look at the Discord for a second, and then I'm gonna. Okay, so I still see no update on Drummond's. And this Dozier is picking up steam here.
Yep, I figured that was going to happen. I'm just going to take a quick look at my projections before I do anything with Dozier, because that does allow.
Vincent's going to be probably popular.
Dozier. Yeah, I think Dozier is actually a really good play. So that
I think it's kind of a decent idea to play if you really want. I mean, I have a couple of these in my FanDuels, my $3.
Mm-hmm.
Like do a couple with Morris and Dozier. You know what I mean? Just build like a blowout run.
Yeah. They'll play together anyway too. So
how much Schroeder do you have?
Not much.
I got 20% on FanDuel.
FanDuel makes a little more sense, but I don't have much interest in.
Play any LeBron? Anywhere?
No, but I think I should. Yeah, we're starting to get more into the raw points kind of a slate. That's usually when I like to use LeBron. I also feel like the Lakers, at least when they're on the road, that there should be some. We should feel a little bit more secure about their minute. You know what I mean? Like about them playing when they're questionable, because it's not like they're just like at their house deciding whether or not to go to the game. You know what I mean? They're on the road. Right. They're there. Okay, so Miami.
No one's saying anything on Drummond. Do we have to really look at guys like Larry Nance and?
Yeah, it's
Whoa, here's a guy that we haven't spoken about today, which I'm hearing a lot from people as kind of like a punt play is Yogi Ferrell.
Yeah, I just don't see the reason to do that today, personally.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that. I mean, like he's active. He does things sometimes, but.
Okay, so someone said this is a BS take. So someone said Drummond out, but it's not somebody with anything real. So I'm just looking at all my different
Yeah. That's good.
sources here.
I mean, like it does start to feel more and more like that might be the case.
Yeah.
Miami.
Yogi has path to minutes. Nothing on Drummond yet. If in fact Drummond is out, so I have a decent amount of Drummond on DraftKings, on FanDuel in my $3.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna really have to do,
I am going with one hammer stack a little bit of that game.
I love it. I just do. I love it. I don't know. Again, I just really got into watching the Pacers play last night. They play really freaking fast. I don't know what their reputation is, but they get it into their offense and they just get it going. And I think it's a close spread. I think the game could go ballistic.
Mm-hmm. So Dozier actually probably trumps a little bit of some of this other value. I just want to say that.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, I think he does. And he fits into a game that I want to get exposure to. He fits in well too because he's not a guy who needs a ton of usage. He'll be out there. He'll make some threes. He'll get some rebounds. He'll get some blocks, some stocks, some stuff like that. Do a little bit of creating for others, but mostly he's not a big assist guy. Doesn't really take away much from anybody else. Just it's Gary Harris even at 3,700 would be in play here, but it's a better version of that to me because he's at least a little bit better fantasy point per minute than Gary Harris is. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Also, he's got the small forward eligibility, which we like. But boy, oh boy, every time I try and get anything done here, I keep ending up back with LeVert again.
I have 30%. I have 30% of him on FanDuel.
LeVert and Durant, though, is what I keep ending up with. That's what I don't want to get into.
I got a good amount of him on DraftKings. I like this.
Okoro.
Yeah, I don't need to play Yogi.
It's crazy how many minutes they play this Okoro. By the way, I really like this Okoro kid in real life. I would take the guy one on my team every day. Yeah, I don't think we need the Yogi thing. I really don't. I mean, look, he might get there and whatever. You can come at me later for it, but I just don't see the need to do it.
Yeah.
I'm also coming a little bit off of Maxey more than I wanted to. Here's a perfect pivot. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Just a straight up Okoro for Dozier.
I'm gonna have I got a lot of Maxey. And I got a full 15% of the Strus.
Of who?
Of the Strus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I've got him like 6%. I do have one Harden lineup. I'm just trying to see what else I got. Kelly Olynyk, Ochoa.
Well, I can't do that. No, someone was asking. Someone was suggesting play 5 Heat with no hero. I don't know.
Let's try and think really quick before this Heat game starts. Okay, so what 2 starters in the blowout do they leave on the court? Vincent.
Yeah.
You would say Precious, but not if he's already played like 28 minutes or something.
I guess.
So, because then you could just play yeah, I probably would be Precious in him.
I really hope that that Drummond plays.
Yeah.
I just don't need the aggravation. I was going to go eat in like 2 minutes.
I know.
Actually, I'll say it again. I am eating in 2 minutes. So.
All right, guys, last questions to get in real quick. I'll take a quick look and try to answer what we got. Oubre on FanDuel. I have some of it. It's good. It's a fine play. It's not my favorite thing in the world. I prefer Osman over him, but I do like him a little bit. Vincent and Precious. 100%. Okay, well, go for the Vincent then. I mean, hey, look, if you want to go for it with him. I'm totally fine with that. He's a minimum cost starter with an 8-man rotation. How can I say he's a bad play? I'm not going to say that. I don't think that he's a bad play. I just found myself looking other directions. I'd rather pay a tiny bit more and get that small forward stuff. You know what? I'm going to have to change this lineup a little bit. Damn it. The Maxey thing just feels like I don't need to do it anymore. I might actually have to get Vincent into something.
What, you don't have that much of him?
No.
I have 13% Vincent.
I am going to put him in one of my big buy-ins.
Oh, Ingles out.
It feels fishy to me. I'm just going to say it. The Vincent thing feels a little fishy. Struss comes in, starts knocking down threes. Maybe then Vincent does the Isaiah Joe thing and comes and puts them all up in the fourth quarter. We're basically at lock here, guys. I feel pretty good about some of these lineups.
Yeah, we are. I'm just really annoyed that there's no Drummond news at 7:00.
Yeah.
Well, I can hang on for a minute until we.
Yeah, we're gonna get it at some point.
Until I get called in here for dinner, we could maybe catch some ownership before we. Tell me, this is what these people do. On the roto grinders, they just literally wait till. Whoa, Joel Embiid is still not out warming up with his rest of his Sixers teammates.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He did shooting drills earlier.
He'll be Come on. I mean, come on, man. We can't live in this world, can we?
I'm just reading what it says.
I know, but isn't it frustrating to you too?
Of course.
So Vincent's just to give it. This is part of I thought this would happen. He is so popular in the big one. Maybe that's why the Yogi play instead would have been better. Silva's even 11% owned in the big one.
I have 48% Embiid on DraftKings.
Embiid only 18% owned in the big one. Well,
Embiid is under 20% in cash, apparently.
Yep.
Gabe Vincent 50% in cash.
Yep.
Iggy 30% in cash.
Ooh, that's weird.
Achua 84% in this thing I'm in, whatever this is. Oh, the 4-entry max.
87% in the 888.
Yeah, and Hero 67 is probably low. Maxey only 10%.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say what I did real quick with my 888 one that I thought was kind of cool. I liked it. It's not that it's going to be so far off the board. I did play Silva in this, so he's 11%. It's get a little lower ownership there. Duncan Robinson only 28%. But I stacked DeJounte Murray with just the 1v1 stacks. I played Murray versus Shea and Durant versus Jokic on the other side, and just they were like two of my favorite 1v1 things. Then my other one, I have Curry and Brogdon as the run back, but I stacked up the Philly game. Really just means 5 guys from Miami and 1 from Philly, but which that one guy's Embiid, of course.
Nets will start Bruce Brown. Oh, no LeVert. LeVert off the bench.
That's great.
Yes.
That's like wonderful news.
Yes.
For everything. I mean, it's going to make him lower owned.
Yeah.
It's going to mean he's going to get the run without KD, but I also get to play with KD and close. Bruce Brown's going to start great. No, they really don't want that guy. They really want somebody else who's not going to do anything, I guess.
Yeah. LeVert not starting. He just took the floor, Embiid, with less than a minute to go in the warm-up session.
Good.
Silva 4% in something? I don't know what exactly, but Embiid 12% in single entry.
He's 18.5% in the 888.
Okay.
People, the good player. I hate to say it like that. The people who play a lot tend to do the same thing, like with that I try to do a lot, but it makes so much sense. I don't know why people don't even do it more. If you're just going to run 4 or 5 guys out from one team, it almost always makes sense to try and look at the best player on the other team.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll hang out until we get to some.
Okay.
until we get called in for dinner, I guess. Stays.
They're only doing that so Levert can close my man. Yeah, no, we're all good with Levert. Levert's good. We like Levert better.
It's also really good for Durant.
Yeah, it works out well for everybody. And I picked Durant over Sabonis for the most part on FanDuel. I'm sorry, on DraftKings. Obviously, on FanDuel, I have more Sabonis than I do Durant, but they're close. They're different positions, obviously, over here. Boy, I've got a whole bunch of Jordan Clarkson over here. And my cheap buy-ins on FanDuel. I just think there's such a good chance he just decides just to go ham, just to go nuts.
Let's see in this like the 666 what some of these guys are. So Iggy's only 16% here. There's they got a lot of chalk here.
It's all these other values we talked about early in the day are going to be lower owned, McDermott than initially. So if you still have the value you can use those guys, Okoro, Trey, or even Okoro.
Wizards Jazz postponed for Wednesday.
Okay, so another game out for tomorrow. Well, that'll make tomorrow a little bit easier.
Someone's asking for Drummond news. That's very nice that you're asking. Nuggets starters. Murray, Barton, Bull with the start.
Okay.
Millsap and Jokic.
Okay, well that's
Nuggets starters. Malone making giant changes with Gary Harris out. Bull season.
Oh my goodness, what are they doing?
Wait, one guy is coming in saying Embiid not playing, but this guy's a patroller, I think. Will be some projections updated for Bull.
Bull will start for Gary Harris. Yeah, so no PJ Dozier starting. Do we still like PJ Dozier as much? I think we still do.
I do. Bull with the start.
Look, if we're gonna act like he's not in play,
he'll get in for He'll play 16 minutes probably. That's
probably enough. I love watching that guy play. Oh man, we're talking about a fun starting lineup.
I saw him play. He worked out on Long Island a couple of times.
Oh really?
Yeah. Nothing confirmed. Nothing confirmed for Embiid. What?
That's just
whatever. Nothing we can do about it now anyway.
Yeah. What are we gonna do now?
I'm just kind of interested about AD about Drummond right now.
Yeah.
Simmons for the money. Bull, huh? Stays.
Power forward.
Someone saying point Bull.
That's what he is, man. You got 2 point guards now. You're going to take away all the assists from Jokic.
That's right.
It actually is a tiny downgrade for Jokic. Not that it matters that much because we're just playing him at this point probably on DraftKings anyway. But on FanDuel, it gives you more of a reason not to play him. One, you could play Bull. 2, Gary Harris was was the perfect kind of guy you want with Jokic because he doesn't do anything fantasy wise. Bull will do some things. I'm still here, guys. I'm gonna answer some questions really quick to see if there's any.
Yeah, I'm looking here until you for dinner. Andre Drummond is out.
So no Drummond. Okay. So
hold on, I gotta change something now. I
gotta make sure you get Drummond out.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, nothing. Just finishing. Is my dinner ready somehow?
What'd you get?
I have chili.
Oh, they're talking.
Oh, they're just talking. Oh, okay. Don't worry about it.
All right. So I'm just gonna see if we can get any updated. Do you have anything updated on Drummond sheets?
I just saw Drummond out.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't know if anybody it'll probably be 5 minutes probably until the site adjusts. And we
But projection updates and stuff.
or just site adjusting even. Sorry, NBA starting lineup. Sorry, my head just scrambled a little bit.
I'm gonna rebuild all this without Drummond. My FanDuel $3.
You can always play bull.
You could always play bull, couldn't I? That's not exactly the same direct swap, though.
No, it's not exactly a 1v1.
No. Let me just see. Let me just make sure I get none of. Then we get a lot of this. Get some of this too, huh? A little of that, and a little of this, huh?
Dotson, Clarkson.
Huh? And then CSV edit that. Do this. So that definitely helps. By the way, Chetty and
Yep.
Pretty much everybody we're going to play on Cleveland, right?
Yep. I honestly don't know who else they're gonna other than JaVale. I don't really know who else becomes. Even Larry Nance. I think that it is an upgrade. Sure, obviously,
Right.
But I don't know that it's like we need to just run out and play him in every lineup though. Because are they going to put Larry Nance at the 5 and he gets some 5 minutes usually? It's going to be McGee. I'll get a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of him on FanDuel, but not quite where quite you might think. All right, I'm amazed. Sometimes we pause, but there's still a bunch of people watching. PJ Dozier's not off the table at all. I have no problem with PJ Dozier. He's still going to play minutes, and I don't think they're going to close with Bull, but weird things have happened.
That is, weird things have indeed happened.
It does make it harder not to just totally ignore JaVale McGee over there. It's not like they're playing him like the Laker minutes where they wouldn't play him more than 12. Even in this NBA season, even Dwight Howard in a massive blowout played like 30 minutes last night. The Howard Embiid front line did not work for Philly. Do we have any? Is Embiid playing? Anybody that got the TV on can tell us whether Embiid's playing?
We try to put it on.
All right, I'm gonna edit my FanDuel lineups.
Well, the game started. Olynyk's got 3/4 of a point, so I know the game started.
Oh God, that's scary. Because he's not. Let's see. Okay, PJ Dozier.
49ers being one of them. I'm also told that Arthur Smith impressed the Titans offensive coordinator in his interview with the Jets, and that they would be interested in meeting with him face to face at some point. Of course, Smith has many shooters. Saleh also has another shooter that was added today in the Philadelphia
Heat versus 76ers.
Parted ways with Doug
All right.
Peterson,
Here comes the Achua's got 1.25 points. Let's see.
Oh, he's on his way.
Who's there? Embiid's playing. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Geez, that was a lot of nervousness for nothing.
Embiid is playing.
4 shots taken in the game. They've all taken
And
not one is dropped yet.
Maxey got his own rebound. Danny Green, his first 3. Bang. Here we go.
Such a troll job.
And there you have it, folks.
He's not going to do enough anyway, but still.
All right, guys. I'm going to run.
All right, guys. Yeah.
Good luck, guys. Hopefully we get sweat later on.